Should I go?
Yep, go for it.
Hi, my name is Roma Patel. Today I'll be presenting about remote access technology. Nowadays, businesses cannot be successful without technology. Every business uses technology on day-to-day basis. Remote access technology is one of them. It allows users to log on to a network from distant location. According to the article 5 Best Practices for Securing Remote Access, published by Lisa Pfeiffer, a recent Microsoft study found the average teleworker spends 4 days per month working from home. Through remote access software, not only employees can access to a computer or a network, but also they can transfer data from the network of one machine to another machine. There are two common methods of achieving remote access available: dial-up and virtual private network. So what is dial-up remote access method? Dial-up remote access method allow user to create a physical connection with a remote access server through telecommunication infrastructure to access company's data and applications. According to telnet.microsoft.com, to achieve remote access through dial-up method, you only need public switch telephone network or integrated service digital network and a remote access server to make and answer the calls. Dial-up remote access is very easy to set up, but it is much more expensive compared to VPN. Users need to make very big investment on hardware, phone line installation, and monthly cost for each phone line, plus the amount of time it takes to set up each dial-up connection with a network. Another method to achieve remote access is through VPN. So what is VPN remote access method? VPN remote access method allows users to connect with a remote network across the internet by maintaining privacy through the use of tunneling protocols and securing procedures. By connecting to a VPN, employees can access company's internet or any site with great efficiency and security. Data is encrypted at both ends, making it impossible for third parties to steal or damage company's secure information. According to the article How to Set Up VPN Today, sponsored by Eric Gregory, to set up a VPN remote access with Windows, you just need to provide the IP address or domain name of VPN server which you want to connect. VPN network technology is the best method to exchange data without worrying about the data being stolen or hacked. Also, it's offered direct cost saving over long distance calls for remote access. Some advantages of remote access technology are flexibility, less costly, and less employee sick days. Remote access is a great technology to provide employees the flexibility to perform their work at various intervals throughout a day, instead of working straight 8 or 10 hours like they would do at their work office. Tom Rizzo in the article Reap the Benefits of Remote Access for Employees states that remote access technology gives employees the level of freedom that they could never have if they were to work in a large office. It's enabled them to work in a way that indicates their individual style and has a result in enhance their productivity and job satisfaction. Another advantage of remote access is employee satisfaction and low cost. Both employees and organizations can reduce real estate costs by using remote access technology. A company can cut overhead expenses and increase its ability to compete in the marketplace. Things that companies saving would be incurred with with our office space rental, office equipment, electricity, and space reduction. Also, there would be fewer employee sick days and less turnover by employees. Some disadvantages of using remote access are security risk and speed. John Calhoun said in his article called Remote Access Disadvantages that you can inject your company's network with a virus if your computer has one. Remote access networks are more susceptible to privacy invasion when you're using them. You can put your company's information at risk being stolen by hackers. Therefore, it is really important for companies to have strong security networks so nobody can hack their data. Speed is another issue for remote networking because users are connected to a Wi-Fi server. The speed of Wi-Fi servers for transferring data is much more slower than direct network connection. The speed can be even slower if the number of people are access to remote network at the same time, said John Calhoun. According to the survey taken by Alan Henry, the top 3 remote access software are TeamViewer, Microsoft Remote Desktop, Apple Remote Desktop, and VNC. In conclusion, remote access technology is beneficial for both employees and employer in many ways. It can increase companies' productivity by doing businesses not only locally but also globally by letting their employees to do work remotely. Employees can work from various places such as an airport, hotel, or client site, and as a result, employees can finish their project on time and present to their client. Since the use of computers becoming more common in businesses, the benefit of using remote access keep on growing. That's all. Any question? Okay.
As far as out of all your research, and I know you guys play with TV here and here, what is to you? What's the number one benefit to you personally out of everything you researched that really stood out to you? Like the number one benefit of remote access to you personally?
I would know if something goes wrong. I know what would be. I guess from researching about remote access technology.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Good presentation. Let's give her a hand. Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you're still putting in your questions, you can definitely put them in your survey and submit. And then just take your microphone and set it down. Good job.
Thank you. Right here?
And Benita, are you ready whenever you're typing it? Yeah, your papers I did not mention. Yeah, I think I mentioned it last week, but I'll re-mention it again because that's one thing I didn't mention. Your research paper, just email it or not email it. Submit it for you guys in week 15.
Okay.
In week 15. Some of you already did that. So,
Okay.
and then for you guys, including Colin, week 16 is where you'll present or upload your research paper. And it actually doesn't have to be the night of. If you don't, just by Sunday that week, be great. Okay. Oh, and Benita, thank you. She packaged her Prezi as an executable, and I wanted to show you this. And I think you've done this before too. I think you told me. Casey, did you tell me you've done this before?
No. If you look online, it actually says download Unique Pro.
You do. How do you do it?
Look, see, it says Unique Pro right there.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Do you have a pro account?
No, I just signed up as a student.
We They're picking on me. They're picking on me. But let me show you this real quick before Vanita comes up. It's a zip file basically that it downloads, correct, from Prezi. Once you extract it, it has in here an executable for Windows, right? And it also has an executable for Mac OS. Once you run it, all the contents of the Prezi is in here. Now the benefit really, neither one of, Vanita, in case neither one have video or sound, but the benefit really for downloading a Prezi to me is if you do have video or sound, it's native to your computer, right? And not only that, but I've seen like fonts that you use in Prezi sometimes. If you're using like weird fonts, it doesn't, and you move it to a different computer, sometimes it shows up weird. But mainly the benefit to me to download a Prezi is for video and sound. And if you email me after class, I actually have another account that's a student account that you can have, and I know it works.
Oh.
Because you might use it in the future, because in business, Prezi is the #1 used presentation software now in business. So just so you know, yeah, it's like the #1 for big presentations or whatever. It's a little learning curve, but it's not too much. So, all right, are we ready? All right. Do you usually go full screen? I'm guessing on this. There we go. I'll go full screen. And I'll get this out of your way. And the only thing on the Vanita on the microphone is just don't press this button here. Boom. And you need some room over here. Get this out of your way. Put that wherever. There we go. Put this back. Just there. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll get started. Go and bring up your survey. Second survey, you can refresh if you want to. Does it reset when you guys refresh your survey? I can't remember. We have to reload, just refresh your browser. Okay. All right, Denise, are you ready?
Almost.
I don't know why I never.
You're feeling like how we're feeling.
I'm sorry if I'm coming off rude tonight. I don't know what it is. I think what it is, my grandson had a report due this week, and I helped him out, and I ran over to the house tonight, dropped it off, had the dog with me because my wife's in Springfield, Missouri with our son who's going to have a baby, so I had to do some stuff with the dog, I don't normally do. And then, so I rolled in here about 7:10. So maybe that's it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's it. So if I'm a little short, I'm not meaning to be, and so forgive me. Okay. Whenever you're ready, let's give Vanita our attention. AppleTalk.
Hi, my name is Vanita, and I'm presenting about the rise of AppleTalk. Networking is in a league of its own, and Macintosh's own version of networking is called AppleTalk. In 1983, when AppleTalk was beginning to evolve, Apple based its products on these key goals. It wanted it to be a plug and play. Basically, users would be able to plug in a device, like this image, into a network, or plug it into a device and then be able to have it immediately work without any configurations. Also, Apple wanted AppleTalk to be peer-to-peer, where the computers can act as a server and allow file sharing. And also, Apple's known for making products for only Mac stuff, and back then they wanted AppleTalk to be versatile. Another thing Apple wanted to do was make it link independent, where it can work on many data link layers, and just basically simplicity, where protocols should be simple and easy to implement. In 1985, Apple released its protocol AppleTalk. A networking system such as AppleTalk consists of hardware and software. Hardware on AppleTalk network includes physical devices such as Macintosh, personal computer workstations, printers, and Mac computers, acting as file servers, print servers, and routers. These devices were also referred to as nodes on the network. Since AppleTalk was created in the early 1980s, its main focus was to create a protocol suite that was used to implement file transfer, print sharing, and mail services. Later on in 1989, AppleTalk 2 was introduced. It was designed to enhance performance over large networks. AppleTalk was used to connect Macs together in a local area network. The network setup is practically plug and play since it manages its own addressing, namespace, and routing. And an important part of Apple network system is a connectivity infrastructure, which includes the communication hardware and the protocols for controlling the hardware. The communication hardware can consist of various media, including wire cabling, fiber optics cabling, and the network interface controller, if needed. Mac developed a broad network system that runs on a variation of data transmission media using several data link methods. A data link provides nodes with access to the network. AppleTalk enables communication between network devices like user computers, file servers, and printers. It was also created to be versatile, making it compatible with Apple and non-Apple products. AppleTalk consisted of software and hardware that enable communication between network devices, followed by computing and connectivity components. Here are three types of AppleTalk connectivity infrastructures. Apple Local Talk, which is a twisted pair cabling, which is low-cost option and is ideal for small work groups priced at under $100 per computer. It can support up to a maximum of 32 devices, and it is fairly slow compared to speeds now. It's only 230.4 kilobits per second. Apple EtherTalk, which provides high-speed connection to AppleTalk network systems. Data transmission is a little bit faster than LocalTalk, which is 10 megabits per second with the use of standard Ethernet technology. And this one supports multiple devices. And Apple Token Talk, which provides connection to industry standard token ring networks, which it doesn't really require a physical ring, but like EtherTalk, it supports multiple devices. Another attribute to AppleTalk's connectivity is intended to be link independent, which means that it allows for the use of various types of data links accessed through various links access protocol, which is supported. AppleTalk provides the following data link support. The Ethernet link, well, ELAP supports the EtherTalk link, and the LLAP supports the LocalTalk link, and the TLAP supports the TokenTalk link, and the FDDI supports the Fiber Distributed Data Interface link. Like most networking systems, Apple uses the OSI model. OSI is the basis for most networking protocols. For example, like TCP, IP, and IPX, SPX. Let's look over how Apple utilizes this OSI model. And they usually count from 7 to 1. 7 is application and 6 is presentation. The Apple filing protocol allows a system to perform the following, which is user authentication, communication with the Apple share systems, and connects to the HFS file systems. Five is a session, which is the Zone Information Protocol, AppleTalk Session Protocol, and the AppleTalk Data Stream Protocol. The zip is on the session layer, which allows the nodes to be set up. And being on the session layer, the ASP is used to open, manage, and close sessions between system sockets. The final part of the session layer is the AppleTalk Data Stream Protocol, which is the full duplex transport. Number 4 is the transport, which consists of AppleTalk Transaction Protocol, AppleTalk Echo Protocol, Name Binding Protocol, and the Routing Table Maintenance Protocol. The ATP is a reliable transport. After a session is created, packets can be sent and then acknowledged by the receiving client. The AEP is used to verify that destination system and is reachable. The MBP is used to give names to the system services, and to maintain the layout of the network topology or where the system is located, the routing table maintenance protocol is used. Number 3 is network, which is the data delivery protocol. The DDP is a connectionless transport. Connectionless means that there's no session is necessary, required, and the data sent is not required to be received. And 2 is data link and 1 is physical, which I already discussed before. The data link consists of the EtherTalk link access protocol, local talk link access protocol, and the token talk link protocol, and the fiber distributed data interface. And the physical is the Ethernet, EtherTalk, and local talk, token talk, and the fiber. The physical layer is the physical medium needed to be chosen. Network link access protocol. It can either be wired or wireless. In conclusion, as time passed by, AppleTalk was starting to show its age. It was developed in the early 1980s, where LANs were mainly used for file exchanges and print sharing. The demand for the internet became more popular, and AppleTalk came to an end in 2009 with the release of Mac OS X. That is when Apple implemented the full TCP IP suite into their OS. Although AppleTalk is no longer deployed in Apple's OS, Apple will continue to support AppleTalk networking in future operations through its transport independent network suite called Apple Open Transport, which supports not only AppleTalk but TCP IP. Any questions?
The day or the year that AppleTalk started was what now?
It started in 1983, but then it was deployed in 1985.
What happened in 1985? All right, let's see her hand. Good job. All right, no leaders. All right, so let's go take the microphone on the table. Great. Casey? Hey, are you helping with the computer club with old Greg?
Huh?
Are you helping with the computer club at Jefferson? Are you
No,
helping
I work
Greg
at Reeves.
King? Who is?
Greg King.
Greg King? Yeah. No.
I know Greg King.
Yeah. Are you helping with the computer club, or did he ask you to help with the computer club? at
No.
Jefferson High School? Okay.
Why?
No worries.
I work at
You're-
RESA.
You what?
I work at RESA Middle. So I'm like, I correlate with Jefferson sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But no, I work with Brook Larson.
Okay. Well,
Or
I'll.
Brook Lake, not Brook Larson.
I'm going to do a plug right now, just so you know. For next semester, starting next semester, we're going to have an ongoing internship at Jefferson High School to help them in a coding club. I think you helped with the coding club. Anita, you helped with the hour of code stuff. It's that type of stuff for high schoolers, junior, senior level at Jefferson. It's going to be a 1 credit per semester, 1 credit internship. They meet it on Wednesdays at 3:30 to 4:30. I provide all the content for the students, and you guys get to choose what you want to use. You go through the content, and then have the high schoolers basically use it that semester. And so, excuse me, it's a way to get computer science into the Jefferson High School a little bit more. We're talking with District 205 to actually get the hour of code as an entry course into all District 205, starting in high school, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior level.
Believe it or not, the middle schoolers are actually.
Yes,
our
they
middle
are.
School teachers are actually.
I've trained
putting
one.
Into Brook Lake.
Yes.
That's my teacher.
Okay.
I work with her all the time.
Yeah, I trained a couple that came through at the hour of code, and I gave them all the stuff I had to help them.
And she goes and implements it in other schools too.
Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, that might, it seems like the middle school might be a more fertile ground possibly to roll it out than high school possibly. I don't know if it's because the hormones kick in high school and the kids don't care, but because literally they have like 10 students in Jefferson. But I think if it's middle school, it might be like, the whole
Whenever
middle
they
school.
Whenever they get free time, that's the website that they go on.
Okay,
They
awesome.
love playing the games.
Thank you for mentioning that to me, because I was talking with somebody the other day about possibly rolling it out to middle school to see, at the same time as the high school, and see which one goes better. I think middle school might go better.
Middle school is better.
I think so too.
Well, it
Thank
just
you for
depends
mentioning
on
that.
the
Yeah, they're just, I taught middle school computers for a number of years, and they definitely are just like sponges, 7th and 8th grade. You guys remember 7th and 8th grade? You're literally just like, just all the time. And so, but they're awesome to teach. I know that, because they really get stuff. All right, so, let's see, I had yours in
Were you nervous?
Chrome.
Mm-hmm. I
You
can
were,
tell.
it was a minute going, and I was like, I'm not saying anything. So, I'm like, she's doing awesome. But you did great. You did a good job. Okay, so that's yours, right? And let's go full screen, and I'll have you put this on, just don't push that little button.
Okay.
And I
okay.
will let you go for it. Remind me you're just okay, that's all you need.
Sure, I guess.
Whenever you are ready, just refresh your form there on your screen. It's all yours. Just give our attention.
Okay, so I'm Casey, and I'm going to talk to you about wireless networking. Wireless networking are different computer networks that are not connected by cables of any kind, but are connected by wireless networks throughout the building that you use. The 4 main types of wireless networking are WAN, MAN, that's supposed to be LAN, my bad, and PAN. LAN actually means local area networking. MAN means metropolitan area networking. WAN means wide area networking. And then PAN means personal area networking. So I'm starting out with LAN. LAN uses radio waves to connect the different devices to the internet and from your business networks. There are 6 main benefits to having a LAN network in your business. They are convenience, mobility, the easy to set up, the cost, how expandable it is, and how protected it is. With convenience, there is no wires and you can just get up and go wherever you want, whenever you want. With mobility, the business people no longer just have to sit strapped down to their desk. If they want to get up and go to a conference, they can just grab their laptop, grab the tablets, and go. The easy setup, you basically just plop down, connect to the internet, and you're done. You don't have to connect a bajillion different cords to your laptop or computer. The cost, the cables are really expensive nowadays, and so that's the big cost. That's like the big huge cost on why wireless networking is getting put into all the different businesses, the schools, and everything else. So it's just cheaper all around. All you have to do is plop on a new wireless networking, say over here, and then you have a whole new system of wireless networking, so you don't require more wiring. And then protected, it's very protected. There are different levels of security that you would want. Like you could choose who has access to what ones. You could be like, oh, only the teachers have access to this one, or only the CEO has access to this one. So that way no one is just going in there and changing whatever you want whenever you want. The next one I'm going to talk about is MAN, which is the form of wireless networking that has an intended coverage about the size of a city. It is extremely efficient because it can cover your whole city or town, and it covers all the buildings in that city or town. So if you have a small town like my dad grew up in, they have one big huge one because it takes one country song to get from one side of town to the other side of town, and that's it. So it's extremely efficient in that way, but here in Rockford I don't think it would be that efficient because we have so many people on wireless networking at all times. It's fast communication with high-speed carrier, so if something's wrong, it automatically just shoots it over and it's taken care of within minutes. It typically covers between 5 and 50 kilometers, which is 1 to 31 miles. So it's basically from here to Roscoe and back is how far it can cover. It is actually not owned by one organization, so it's owned by an entire city or owned by an entire company who runs the entire city, basically. And then you are also allowed to share files regionally, so if you have one person over there in Joe Schmo land, you can share it with some person over here in Bob Billy land. Next I'm going to talk about WAN. It connects, or WAN is the network that exists in a large geographical area, so that would be like the city of Chicago. It connects smaller LANs and MANs together. And then the WANs work just like the LANs, but at a much larger scale, so it works just like what I had just described. Banks are more likely to use this because they connect from one server to the other, and then you can see how much you have in your bank account without having to guess. There are 3 things that WAN is good for, that it connects to the servers to the LANs. There's limited to the enterprise, and you can access it. It's accessible to the public, which means basically anyone can access it. And then the internet is the biggest example of WAN. So we can access the internet wherever we go, just as long as we have a wireless connection. PAN is the last thing I'm going to talk about, which is to connect, or the interconnection of the information technology and device and gadgets within an environment of the individual users within 50 feet. So this is basically what you use at your house. That's how I describe it. You can connect the different devices such as laptops, iPad, tablets, cell phone, PDAs, printers, PCs, basically anything you want. I mean, I even have my camera hooked up to my Wi-Fi at my house. ZigBee, which it connects devices wirelessly at a low cost. It's perfect for cell phone, stereos, tablets, cameras, and just smaller devices that don't take up a lot of speed on your Wi-Fi. Some of the benefits are you can send stuff to your printer wirelessly to where you don't have to actually have the cord connected. You can upload photos from your cell phone to your laptop without connecting your phone and opening up the phone and this and that. And then you can also watch TVs and movies on Hulu and Netflix. Who doesn't like Hulu and Netflix, right? The one slow thing about PAN is that if everyone in your household is connected, it is really, really slow at all times. But the chances of that happening are slim to none. So, in conclusion, I have taught you all about WAN, MAN, PAN, and LAN, and they're all very successful.
You know, basically, if I were a full trainer in Washington, why do we need broadband cable?
Yep.
Is there anything in the future where like a company like AT&T or would be able to compete with Comcast or cost?
Well, she probably saw in her research, but I'm guessing money's an issue.
Money is the big issue with which is why everyone's going to wireless networking, because of the fact being that one cord to connect from point A to point B is costing you $50 for a 10-foot cord. Yeah.
So you basically have a router with antenna.
And then you can connect everything and anything to that one router.
That seems huge. That would change everything.
Well, on your why or the man research, you find any company, what was the companies that popped up? Did you see any companies that were in city coverage? You said your dad was in an area that.
Well, my dad grew up in Breckenridge, Minnesota, and Wahpeton, so it's literally, Wahpeton is on this side of North Dakota, and they're about an hour south, and Breckenridge is in Minnesota. My grandpa lived on the west side of Breckenridge, and my aunt lives on the east side of Wahpeton. So they are literally on the polar opposite sides. It took us one country song to get from my grandpa's house to my aunt's house. And there's 6 stoplights in the entire town in a big circle. That's it. So there's 3 on each side. That's it. So I think they would use it, but I'm not sure. But that's something that they would use in the town because it's a small geographical area.
Well, there is one company I'm looking for in research called Clear Technologies. Actually, I have a stronger that does a 30-mile radius of what we're talking about.
Got it.
And I heard within like 5 years, we're supposed to have this one.
I didn't see that.
A lot of it's stopping in here is it's PD and Comcast.
Yeah.
So, a good presentation. Let's give her a hand. Very good job, Ray. All right. Well,
I did it right there.
awesome. Okay, well, great job, presenters. Finish up the last survey for Casey. Next week, we have everyone else, including Colin here. Colin's going to be presenting using a remote connectivity, which I'm using tonight to record, which is Screencast, Omatic. By the way, just to give, I'm having my web class use Screencast Omatic for their